Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Q&A with us, the British Fist.
Gotcha.
I am Mr. Parkin. This guy's sitting next to me, as usual, bobbing his shoulders because he is dying to answer your questions. It's NJ.
What's up?
And we are the British Fist.
Gotcha.
Subscribe above, guys. Like this video and comment your thoughts and opinions on the questions we got down in that comment section below.
What's mine? Oh, make sure you contact us in the good talks below.
Yes, and also keep sending your questions into us, guys, via the YouTube inbox, via commenting below if you're lazy, like Mr. Parkin is. Or you can send them through our Facebook, of course, as well, facebook.com/British Fist. And also, we've got a lot of questions to wade through at the moment, so please be patient with the questions. We have had a lot of questions recently, and it's been very overwhelming, so we do thank you for sending in the questions, but we have a lot to get through, so if you're one of the late question askers, then it's going to be a while since your question gets answered. We apologise.
All I'll say is thank you so much for the questions, because they are keeping us going, they're keeping us entertained, and hopefully our answers are good enough for you.
Yes, indeed. The first question we got, or the first couple of questions, is from FullKiller99. A good TNA reviewer recommended us to TNA Swerve. Thank you very much there, brother. We're going to have fun answering these questions, aren't we, NJ?
We are indeed.
The first question he asked us is, if you were in charge of WWE for one day, what would you do? Oh, thank you so much for asking that. We got so many things we would do. You start off.
Okay, well, when it comes to WWE, the main thing I have with it is that the WWE are really concentrating on keeping it so it's entertaining to the kids instead of keeping the fans that they used to have, that used to be all the weapon usage, the hardcore usage, the bad language and all that. So maybe I'll try and branch out a bit and try and be more relaxed with what goes on.
I see what you're trying to say there. Instead of appealing to a demographic which is a smaller percentage than your larger demographic, appeal to your 18 to 49 demographic, which is essentially your largest demographic, rather than that 20% which is kids and women. I can see exactly what you're saying there. Maybe introduce a bit more cursing, a bit less PG programming. Just try and appeal to a bigger demographic, which essentially is better for business because you're appealing to more of your fans.
That's it, yes.
In my opinion, I would do this. WWE don't have too many stars nowadays. The only real stars they have really are Cena and Orton, would you say? Like, who are regularly active on the roster.
Not Cena.
So, well, yeah, not a star to you, but a star to all the kids out there. So what I would do is I'd use these two as a centerpiece, John Cena on Raw and Randy Orton on SmackDown, to try and put over some young talent, because WWE has got to the point now where they do need to forge the future for their company, and these are the only real two stars they've got, and they need to forge these young guys off these two stars they have.
Because when it comes to Randy Orton and John Cena, their title reigns are ridiculous. So I'm thinking now they've had their title reigns over and over again. They need to get this page now. Yes, they can have it, but not as much. They need to concentrate on the other wrestlers.
I'd change the pay. I mean, we did a video earlier in the year in 2011. We wanted to change the pay-per-view schedule, get rid of the 13 pay-per-views. They've already put down to 12. I'd probably still get rid of one more and change some of the pay-per-view names to be less gimmicky. I think that is a massive thing that we would do for WWE with their pay-per-view schedule.
Because the big whole thing is they got rid of some of the gimmick matches, then brought them back for some reason. So the way I'm saying now is just get rid of them, keep them to big, badass names, to keep people interested and to bring back what we used to have.
Yeah, and I think at the moment WWE is really suffering from, would you say, a lack of talent roster? So in my opinion, I think WWE need to sign some talent, in my opinion. They need to get some tag teams together, because we don't really have too many tag teams in the WWE at the moment. And what a perfect way to bring through talent like from FCW or from Superstars than to put them in tag teams together and actually try and get them over that way. Because as we've seen with tag team wrestling in the Attitude Era, it produced stars. You know, Bret Hart was from a tag team, Shawn Michaels was from a tag team, and they became stars. So I wanted to get tag team wrestling a big focal point of the TV show again.
Because the thing is, with some guys that have been coming in recently, they've either gone straight to the top, or they've been going straight for the title. Yeah. The way I see it, they need to bring wrestlers in, start to now, because obviously New Year, good chance to, and have them go for the lower belts and have them build themselves back up. Because that will give them a huge name, the WWE, eventually.
Especially in a division which is very non-existent at the moment. I think also we'd want to make SmackDown a little bit less a B show and more equal to Raw. Maybe divide the talent a little bit more equally. And I know you had some issues with SmackDown which you really wanted to sort out as well.
Because when it comes to SmackDown, it's a bit sad. Yes, the Raw match may not be that much longer, but still SmackDown disappoint us with the wrestlers they have. They want to build up. The time limit is bad. And the other thing is, we didn't have this problem all the time. They've just gradually brought it back. Is the feuds are not all there. They have many wrestlers there they could use. and it's pretty sad.
Pretty much filler on SmackDown, especially on SmackDown. So there are improvements we would make to the SmackDown product. Just try and make it less of a B show, more equal to Raw, just so it's a bit more of an interesting show. I think that's really it for... And get rid of NXT as well, because that show sucks.
Yeah, like, we were kind of glad they brought Tough Enough back because that had more meaning to it and more wrestling aspect to it. With NXT, at first it was something interesting, but then just dragged it on. It was just all about entertainment now, and I just think they should just get rid of it and bring back something that actually brings in strong wrestlers.
Next question, Full Killer 99 asks us, if you were in charge for TNA for one day, what would you do? I'm loving these questions, NJ. One thing I would do, and I think I've said this in a video on my channel before, is I would try and revitalise the TV title as a mid-card championship, like the IC championship is for WWE, rather than this stupid joke championship, because I do believe TNA need to really sort out their mid-card. They don't really have that belt which is represented by the mid-card, so I would try and elevate that TV title up to that mid-card status below, between the X Division and the Worldwide Championship.
The thing I say about the TV title is that at the moment it's just pointless, and to be honest, we haven't really got many pointless wrestlers on TNA, but to be honest, for it to be moved up higher up in the card again to where we have the most popular wrestlers, it'd be used a lot more than what it is now, so that would be beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, you can give it to like a Pope or a Bully Ray or something, just what a guy that's over that could use that mid-card belt, something
and
like
make a big deal again, yes.
Yes. Me and NJ are also of the agreement that TNA need to combine getting out of the impact zone because of the crappy crowds in there and trying to promote their show more on the road. I think that's an important thing TNA needs to do, because some people probably don't even know about the TNA product because they don't really market it enough, and I think they need to do that a little bit more, and that's what I would do if I was in the company. I'd get the marketing department sorted on this straight away.
When it comes to the impact zone, again, yes, there are fans that go in there, but not like huge fans like you see in WWE.
Not like live crowds.
No, so if they got moved somewhere different, it'll be branch out for more fans, and then people get more interested in it, and probably the ratings and stuff will all go up.
Yeah, and we'd also get rid of Eric Young segments too.
Well, you say segments, I say Eric Young, but there we go.
Alright then, fair enough. I think that's pretty much it. Let's go on to the next... Oh yeah, we'd also get rid of the Knockout Tag Team division.
Oh my gosh, that is just stupid. Like, we hear that TNA concentrate on their Knockout division, and to be honest, put them into tags, it's not really using them to maybe their full potential, to break them up, their tag teams, have them as knockout wrestlers going for the Knockout Championship, and it'll be a lot more better.
No, I agree, I do agree. I think the TNA Knockout title is probably one of the most relevant titles in the wrestling at the moment. If TNA had to rebuild their entire tag team division from scratch, using only the existing roster, what tag teams would you put together? I had a good idea for a tag team. Well, at the moment we have Crimson and Morgan, and we have Samoa Joe and Magnus, and they're pretty much the only tag teams we have at the moment. So, to me, I would like, because I like X Division action, I'd like to take some guys from the X Division and put them into a tag team. Maybe get Jesse Sorensen and Anthony Nese in a tag team because they have very similar looks.
Because the thing with the X Division is that is a stepping stone before they progress maybe into something bigger. Yeah. So I'm thinking move them out from the X Division once they've progressed and got somewhere, move them into the tag team division will be a step up, moving on to higher, better things. So that would be good for them, yes.
And also, I'd like to take two people that at the moment aren't on TV too much, in Mr. Anderson and Pope, and probably get them in a tag team, just because they're definitely higher than the tag team division in my opinion, but they're not really being featured properly on TV. So I would like to get these two into a tag team of some sort, maybe just to start off getting them on TV a little bit more.
Well, the way I look at this is that we have Anderson, who used to be in the title picture, and then obviously TNA dropped him. And to be honest, I would like him to go back into it and get involved and do that again. But the tag team would be a stepping stone to rebuild his character, make him a strong force again, and then go back into the main event. But it could work.
Now your two suggestions.
Okay, my one is because I think, as much as I was a fan of Soa Heels at the time, they need to be broken up now, and that is Immortal. And now we need to have, like, the ones that are not really doing anything, which is Steiner, to team up with, again, Rob Terry needs to be out of his tag team that he's got with him and be put into something that's more, so that will probably put him over better than what he's doing now.
Steiner and Rob Terry are very similar builds, so why not? They're both those sort of like big genetic freak guys. Why not put them in a tag team together? You also thought Kaz and Kendrick would be a good tag team.
Well, I only say Kendrick because, again, yes, he was working with the X Division, but again, we need to get him something to do something more, so that maybe his gimmick will change and maybe something a bit more proper that people get behind more. And Kendrick, well, yes, he's in a working feud at the minute, but I think it's mainly to put AJ and Daniels back into the feud. Yeah. So putting him into a tag team will give him still involvement and still doing so in TNA.
To be honest with you, though, really, we'd love to see Motor City Machine Guns come back as a tag team and the British Invasion come back as a tag team, just because they're two legit tag teams. But with the roster, with the lack of tag teams we have at the moment in the TNA, these are the only teams we can really think of putting together, really, isn't it?
More tag teams coming into TNA, the better.
Without you know, we'll go on to the next question. All right, if you were kidnapped by terrorists who threw a knife down in front of you and ordered you to fight to the death, which one of you would win? I think I'd win.
No, Dan, come on, you know I would win.
No, I would win.
Dan, I would win.
I know you're Terminator, NJ, but I'm a very good knife wielder. I'm a black belt in it, so I would win.
I'm a good knifer.
Oh, do you have a knife?
Yeah.
Or what is it? Well, you've got an imaginary knife.
Yeah.
You try and kill me with an imaginary knife.
Yeah.
Oh, good luck with that one, NJ. Yeah, I would win. No, I would win. Shut up, I would win. Next question.
Okay.
We're never going to agree.
No, we're not.
The next question comes from Saints. Can't even read it. Saints RFC 95. Sorry if I got that name wrong. If Undertaker's WrestleMania streak ended, who would you like to end it? We get some choices here. Brock Lesnar, Goldberg, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, John Cena, Kane, Drew McIntyre, or Wade Barrett, or other. What are your picks here?
Well, 3 straight away, even though one of them not so much. First, we're going to have Wade Barrett, because obviously that would be a great push for him, because he's going to get someone as big as Taker, and it would be a great manoeuvre for him. Then we have Kane, because at the beginning of Kane's career, he came in and went straight up to Taker. So why not have him go up and finish, or have a match against Taker in maybe his last WrestleMania. And then there's Triple H, because they've been in the industry together the longest. So having maybe, I know they've wrestled before, which is a shame they've had it so many times, but they've had history together. So if it was to come down to last match, why not?
I would love Barrett to end the streak, but I'm not really sure he's really that top guy that could really end the streak. The only person who I think could believably end the streak, and it's just because of the way he's booked, is John Cena. As much as I wouldn't like to end the streak, it'd be the most, out of those guys, it would be the most believable guy to end the streak because of the fact that he's the top guy in the company. I wouldn't want it to happen though, but I'm just putting that point out there.
But you did say other, and I would say Santino.
Okay, fair enough. How would you feel if WrestleMania was hosted at Wembley, or would you rather it stay in North America? I would like it. I would go.
Well, with it being in Wembley, of course, there's been so many fans here. Yes, they'll be probably sold out like that because the amount of people that have been waiting for that particular moment. But the fact it came here, it would be a big thing for the UK.
Yeah, you saw how much of a draw SummerSlam 92 was at Wembley, with merchandise sales and ticket sales and stuff. So it would be a good idea. I can understand why they might not do it, though, because of the time difference. And they don't really want to record it and let spoilers out there for the biggest event of the year. But they could probably work around it. It would be good if they did, I'm just saying.
It would be interesting and it'd be good for us. Yeah.
The next question comes from 81 Kaysen01. What are your favourite WCW pay-per-views? Yes, we didn't really watch too many, did we? Because we weren't really really into wrestling when the WCW era was around. I've watched 2 events. Did you watch any WCW?
Well, I've got a list of WCW, not really.
Okay, fair enough. I'll go through. I've only ever seen 2 WCW pay-per-views, and they were on videos. I got these videos back when I was like 10, 11. I got Uncensored and Spring Stampede 1999. They're both. I watched those videos endlessly when I was a kid. I didn't know WWF was around at the time, about 99. So those are the only 2 I've watched. I can't really answer the question very fully because we didn't really pay attention to the product too much when we were younger because we really couldn't because we were so young.
True, and I'm thinking now we've gone on from that. Yes, they may have some good points about it, but obviously we found products that we find more entertaining.
Fatal MRV. What do you think the chances are on Tyson Kidd getting pushed? Lately, all his matches on NXT and Superstars have been a very high standard. Well, he is a very accomplished wrestler. I think the best way to push Tyson Kidd, and I said this in my tag team video on my personal channel, is get him in a tag team. He's a good wrestler. The only way you can really do it, he's not really a mid-carder at the moment. The only really way you can get him on TV is put him in a tag team, in my opinion.
Well, my big disappointment with Tyson Kidd is that, again, I don't like when I know why they do it, but I don't like it as much all the time. Is when they break up tag teams. He could have stayed with his
David Hart Smith,
and gone on longer. They could have become tag teams. That could be a tag team that stayed together. So breaking them up has left Tyson Kidd wandering about.
Yeah.
So maybe put into another tag team would make him meaningful again. But I still wish he stayed with David Hart Smith.
Tyson Kidd and Drew McIntyre. And Tyson Kidd on Twitter even said that would be a good tag team himself. So next question, Cypher Aries. I wonder if this guy's an Austin Aries fan. Do you think TNA's Destination X pay-per-view this year will be all X Division like last year? why or why not would that benefit TNA? Last year was kind of like a relaunch of the X Divisions, kind of, wasn't it? They're that whole Immortal thing going against the X Division. Do you feel it'll be all X Division? I'd love it to be all X Division again because it was one of their better pay-per-views. It was a good pay-per-view.
Well, the way I see it, 2012, it's going to mean many new things, hopefully, for TNA because they're booking all that. Now, Abyss no longer the champ, they're going to be able to concentrate more on the X Division. So what I'm thinking is that they are going to make new things happen. So this year's X Division could be based on it, yes.
I feel this year, though, they probably make it a non-X Division pay-per-view just because they've kind of got the X Division sorted now, in my opinion. They're featuring it a lot, so there's no real need to make it a whole X Division pay-per-view, even though I would love it to happen. I feel TNA this year will just make it a normal pay-per-view, but that's just my opinion. Next question comes from Mr. Undertaker the Man. Mr. Undertaker the Man. Who do you think is the best heel of all time? For me, it's Mr. Bob Backlund. I think we're in agreement with this one, aren't we?
We are indeed.
Woo! It's got to be Ric Flair, the dirtiest player in the game. What a heel he was.
Again, his name, when you think of him, you think of all the heel stuff he's done to get where he's at, and he's just the biggest heel that we can think of.
Yeah. The review space. Do you follow any wrestlers' YouTube channels? No.
Daniel Bryan, Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, no.
We don't follow any YouTube channels, I'm afraid. Just other YouTube shooters where we can get logical opinions. Richard Burton, 65. Jeff Meacham said in the spring of 2011 that ROH would be the second power in wrestling. Do you think that could still be the case? Not with TNA's product being as good as it is at the moment. I don't see ROH, with their TV show and everything, what they're doing, they're not going to be a second power.
No, ROH could quite easily improve with all this telly thing progressing that, but they can be far off being TNA. Yeah.
Just the way they do their TNA show and their product itself hasn't expanded, in my opinion, using the TV show to newer fans. So they can't really become a second power if they don't expand to the people that are going to watch their product, not just the fans, but to the casual fans. So in my opinion, they've got no chance of being a second power to TNA. TNA already have the cash and the TV deal and everything, a worldwide TV deal. So, you know, it's just not going to happen, in my opinion. Yeah, there we go. That's another Q&A. From us, the British Fist. We've been going on now 17 minutes. Keep your questions coming into us, guys. We do really enjoy answering your questions, and we do mean that from the heart. NJ, do you want to end this video?
I do, Dan. All I'm going to say now, people, is keep your questions coming because the amount of questions we get is absolutely wonderful, and we keep answering your questions, keeps us going, keeps us entertained, and keeps you entertained, hopefully, through our videos. And all we can say now is thank you very much from the British Fist, which is Mr. Parkin, and me, NJ. Till next time, people. Goodbye.
Ow!